Yo, what's going on people, and welcome back to the channel. This week I'm going to be making a Forever Friday type sample. So for people that may listen to a Forever Friday, there's a lot of guitars and bells that are very melodic and also always in a minor scale, so it gives it a dark feel. So for the first thing I did, I added some keys that were strummed so they sound like this. So I wanted to give it a wider sort of vibe and very spacey, just to sit in the background and not override the beat too much. So for this I added a low hi that takes out lots of the highs, makes it like lo-fi sort of thing. Added a reverb, low decay but high mix, and then just took out a lot of the highs. So the next thing, I wanted to give it a very dark bell, so I added this. Kind of like a slow ARP version, but for this I added a valve compressor, so like this, gives it a very warped and fluttered feeling, slight reverb, a delay, and then took out some lows and highs. So for many of Friday's beats, they have like a Latin guitar in the background, so it sounds like this. So for that it gives it an extra bounce, and this is the effects that I used on it. So I just used a little reverb and I took out some lows, and that's about it. Took out a little bit of highs that were just too much. The next I wanted to add like a counter melody to that guitar, so I added like an ethnic sort of guitar bell layered sound that sounds like this. And then for this I wanted to make it flutter again, give it an analog type of feeling. Delayed, not too much delay, and reverb again, and took out some lows and highs. Along with the guitars that I incorporated, I wanted to add a bass guitar just to give it a natural feeling, so I added this. So that's Rickenbacker bass, as I used from Contact, and I added this on into it. So I added a reverb, not too much reverb, hardly anything. Took out some lows that were a lot of the rumble that's just interferes with the beat too much. And then a micro shift, it gives it like a cool texture. So next I want to run you through the textures that I gave onto this sample. So a Perc loop that sounds like this. And then a bird call type texture that sounds like this. And so for that, I just took out lots of the lows and highs and just brought the levels really down so they just sit in the background, not too overriding the beat, it just sounds good. So for the second half of the sample, I wanted to remove the Rickenbacker bass, and then to get that bounce back, I added these keys. Then for that I added another low high, just to give it a lo-fi feeling, and then just took out some lows. So for this bell I actually reversed it, it gave it a cool type of build up in the sample, so it sounds like this. Added a reverb, quite a heavy reverb, chorus, and then took out lots of the lows. And lastly I added the same keys, but this time I reversed them, put them up 12 octaves so it was a higher pitch, and then just chopped them and changed them around a bit so they sound like this. And for that I wanted a lot of delay on it, so I added a ping pong delay and then took out lots of the frequencies I didn't want. So for this sample I actually pitched it up 3 semitones like this, and this is how it sounds. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So one thing I want to touch on is people taking out frequencies in a sound that are particularly destroying the sound and making it not good as it was originally. So what people need to realise that taking frequencies out of sound that already sounds good, up to a certain extent, if you take too much out, it just drains the whole point of the sound. So people need to focus on that, just a little tip for people. So yeah, if you like that, subscribe, follow me on my Instagram that's going to be on the screen, and I'll be doing more of these videos. So yeah, thanks guys, peace.